Have you ever knocked on wood just in case? Or said bless you after a sneeze, even though you don't really know why? Maybe you've avoided walking under a ladder, or shivered a bit when a black cat crossed your path. Don't worry, you're not alone. Humans are deeply superstitious creatures. We like to think we're logical, rational, evolved beings, scrolling science news, sipping oat milk lattes, but the moment something slightly spooky happens, our brains flip a switch. Caveman mode activated. Lost your keys? Bad energy. Got a promotion? Lucky socks. Wi-Fi drops mid-Zune? Mercury is definitely in retrograde. And knocking on wood? That's thousands of years old. Ancient Europeans believed tree spirits could protect them from misfortune. Early Christians saw it as honoring the wood of the cross. In places like Turkey and Spain, people still tap wood to keep the evil eye away. Different cultures, same instinct. Things are going too well, better not jinx it. Superstition isn't just luck or fear. It's about control. Our brains crave patterns, even when there are none. That mental shortcut kept our ancestors alive. Rustle in the bushes could be a tiger. You run, survival. You stay, well, evolution didn't favor skeptics. Though superstition is, in a way, evolution's safety feature. Your brain saying, better look silly knocking on wood than get eaten by metaphorical tigers. Stories turned into rituals, rituals turned into beliefs. Comforting, terrifying, or just plain weird. From ancient gods hiding in thunderclouds to medieval peasants blaming fairies for spoiled milk, to you avoiding risky texts at 11:11, it's all the same instinct across centuries. Superstition is humanity talking to the universe, just in case it's listening. Ancient roots of superstition. Why the first humans thought the universe had rules and how they made them up. Picture this. A vast prehistoric forest. Dark, cold, everything moving could either feed you or eat you. Lightning splits the sky, your fire goes out, your friend drops their dinner and you think, okay, someone up there is mad. Not in temples, not in cities. Superstition was born in panic trying to make sense of chaos. Humans had no science yet, but curiosity plus fear equals creativity. If I dance before the hunt, we catch more food. If I wear this charm, I don't get sick. Primitive logic in action, cause and effect, slightly exaggerated. Fast forward to ancient Egypt, superstition got an upgrade. Gods as cosmic customer service reps. Need protection? Call Anubis. Luck in love? Hether. Architecture, pyramids, amulets, mummies, all about navigating life after death. Pack wisely. The Greeks, dramatic gods, personal grudges. Thunder equals Zeus, angry. Sneeze equals divine message. Athletes rubbed oil and whispered prayers before races, because apparently the gods were big sports fans. The Romans, industrialized superstition. Gods for everything. Doors, ovens, sewers. Imagine remembering who to thank every time you flush. These ancient folks weren't silly. They were humans trying to see patterns in chaos. Every shadow, every cough, every coincidence meant something. Because meaning, even if made up, feels safer than randomness. Safety was a full-time job. Primitive logic extended examples. Frogs croak, rain is coming. First meteorologists, frogs. Comet streaks, gods are angry, maybe. Step on a crack, bad luck. Probably harmless, but you avoided it anyway. Fear as a teacher. Misinterpretation still often leads to survival. Black cat before hunting, stay home. Maybe you avoid a snake. Superstition equals evolution rewarding caution, paranoia as a survival tactic. Storytelling effect. Tales like Bob broke a mirror, 7 years bad luck, transmit caution, entertainment, and culture all at once. Oral tradition spreads lessons faster than trial and error alone. Cultural remixing, knock on wood, tree spirits, Celts, honor gods, Romans, protect from evil eye, Turkey and Spain. Number 4 unlucky, East Asia. Friday the 13th, Europe, black cats. Europe, same instinct, different cultural flavor. Psychology of repetition. Knock on wood, avoid ladders. Throw salt over shoulder. Repetition equals safety signal. Habit, belief, subconscious ritual. Thousands of years later, we scroll through apps, sip pumpkin spice lattes, knock on wood, avoid black cats, whisper to Wi-Fi gods. Maybe we're not that different from our ancestors. Medieval magic and religious fear. When superstition met religion and everything became a sin. Welcome to the Middle Ages, a world of castles, peasants, and a lot of superstition. Imagine life back then. No internet, no science, just rumors, and slightly panicked humans. And religion? It didn't just guide life, it defined it. Every shadow could hide a demon. Every cough could be a curse. Sneezing in church? Better say God bless you, or risk divine wrath. Superstition plus religion equals a potent mix. Astrology. The stars weren't just pretty. They dictated health, crops, love, and sometimes whether your neighbor's goat would die. Saints and relics. Touch a saint's relic and you're suddenly immune to plague. Or at least, that's the hope. Holy water and charms. Carrying blessed objects was like carrying insurance. Expensive, spiritual, and occasionally smelly. Imagine telling your medieval self, "Don't worry, one day you'll have a tiny app in your pocket that predicts your horoscope and reminds you to drink water." They'd think you're a wizard, which, come to think of it, is exactly what everyone feared back then. Fear-driven rituals. Every illness had a supernatural explanation. A fever, the devil, or maybe the alignment of Saturn. Misfortune, surely someone cursed you, usually a neighbor you didn't like. To prevent bad luck, people performed elaborate rituals, tossing salt, ringing bells, or walking backwards around the village. There's a story of a 14th century village where a black cat crossed the town square. The villagers spent the rest of the day ringing church bells to chase the evil spirits away. Meanwhile, the cat? Probably just looking for lunch. Cultural collision. Religion didn't erase superstition, it amplified it. In fact, the church sometimes co-opted it. Pagan rituals were rebranded as Christian festivals. Bonfires, solstice celebrations, charms, now blessed by priests. That old fear of the forest spirits, now a fear of witches and demons. Fear of divine punishment. Everything from walking under ladders to spilling wine became a potential sin. People believed luck and morality were intertwined. Bad luck equals moral failing. Astrology charts, holy relics, and amulets became part of everyday survival. Today, we worry about spilling coffee on our laptop. Back then, spilling wine could mean 7 years of divine wrath or at least a really long lecture from the local priest. Everyday superstitions in history. By the Middle Ages, superstition had seeped into daily life. But it wasn't just about big cosmic forces or angry gods. It was about the small things, the mundane, the everyday. Imagine walking through a medieval street. Someone bumps into you, a dog crosses your path, a mirror cracks, and suddenly your day is doomed. Or maybe your week, or your 7 years. Mirrors. Breaking a mirror wasn't just a minor oops. It was 7 years of bad luck. Why? Mirrors were thought to reflect not just your face, but your soul. Some cultures would bury broken mirrors in soil to reset the soul. So basically, ancient humans were the first to worry about selfie disasters. Ladders. Walking under a ladder was risky, not just because you might get hit on the head. Triangles were sacred, think Holy Trinity, and breaking one's path through that triangle invited trouble. Workers avoiding ladders in Gothic cathedrals didn't just save themselves from falling beams, they also avoided cosmic wrath. Spilled salt. Salt was precious, a symbol of purity and wealth. Spilling it was wasteful and unlucky. To fix it, people tossed a pinch over their left shoulder to blind the devil lurking behind. Imagine medieval kitchens. A cook drops salt. Everyone panics. Someone trips, tossing it over the shoulder, and voila! Superstition in action. Shoes on the table. Placing shoes on the table was considered a sign of bad luck or even death. Why? Shoes touched the ground, the dirty world. Bringing them onto the table symbolically invited misfortune indoors. Still feels wrong to put sneakers on your clean dinner table, doesn't it? Birds and animals. Owls hooting at night were considered omens of death. Magpies brought luck or bad news, depending on the numbers seen. Seeing a hare at night could predict the weather or a neighbor's mischief. While we've heard about black cats, some regions feared crows, storks, or even squirrels. A crow on your roof? Someone in the family will die. Meanwhile, the crow is just looking for breakfast. Miscellaneous oddities. Sneezing before a journey? Better wait a moment, it could jinx your trip. First foot on New Year's Day? Bring the right person in first for luck. Whistling indoors invites evil spirits, especially in Northern Europe. Notice a pattern? Many of these superstitions arose from trying to control what humans couldn't understand. A mirror, a ladder, spilled salt. Small, everyday objects became vessels for cosmic anxiety. Picture a medieval village. A man accidentally spills salt, knocks over a ladder, and a black cat darts by. He panics, whispers prayers, tosses salt over his shoulder, and somehow survives the day. Mission accomplished. Superstition keeps people alert, cautious, and socially engaged. But what happens when superstition goes beyond small mishaps, into fear of the unseen and the dangerous unknown? That's where witch hunts, curses, and mass hysteria enter the story. Next up, how fear of the invisible created entire societies obsessed with magic, curses, and punishment. Witchcraft, curses, and the fear of the unknown. How fear of the unseen created entire witch hunts. By the 15th century, superstition had leveled up into full-blown paranoia, and it wasn't just about spilled salt or black cats anymore. Now the unseen became terrifyingly real. Ghosts, witches, curses. Suddenly, the world was full of invisible threats, and humans were ready to fight back. Witchcraft and fear. Witches were everywhere. Literally, your neighbor could be a witch, your midwife, even your dog, if it looked suspicious enough. Any misfortune, a sick child, a failed harvest, a lost cow, could be blamed on magic. Accusations spread like wildfire. One sneeze, one failed crop, one weird noise at night, witchcraft could be the culprit. In 17th century Europe, a woman accused of cursing her neighbor's chickens was put on trial. Why? She apparently glared at the chickens. Not touched them, just glared. Modern you, probably cute. Medieval village, clearly evil. Curses and spells. People carried charms, amulets, and herbs to ward off curses. Some wrote protective prayers on pieces of parchment and buried them under thresholds. Others believed verbal curses. A hex whispered at the right moment could ruin a family for generations. Witch hunts. The fear of witches reached epic proportions in Europe and colonial America. Thousands were accused, tortured, and executed. Often the evidence was ridiculous: a birthmark, a cat companion, or just being different. Basically, if you were slightly odd or just unlucky, congratulations, you might end up in a trial for consorting with demons. Social function of fear. Fear of the unseen wasn't just individual, it controlled communities. Rules, rituals, and harsh punishments created order, even if the logic was questionable. Superstition plus fear equals social glue, oddly enough. Villagers shared anxieties, rituals, and suspicion. Walking at night with the left foot first, unlucky. Stepping on a grave invites ghosts. Whistling indoors lets evil spirits in. Notice a pattern? Superstition thrives when humans feel vulnerable, powerless, or threatened. When you can't control crops, disease, or weather, your brain invents patterns, causes, and scapegoats. In 16th century Scotland, a man lost a horse, blamed a neighbor's wife for cursing it, and ended up suing for damages. Court records show he actually believed a hex had been cast. Modern lawyers would be impressed. The guy had a case. Fear and superstition are ancient, but humans didn't stop there. Even today, our brains are wired to see patterns, control chance, and seek meaning. We'll explore the psychology behind why we still believe and why superstition isn't just a relic of the past. The science of why we believe. Psychology of pattern seeking, coincidence, and control. So why do we still, knock on wood, avoid black cats, or whisper to Wi-Fi gods? The answer isn't in magic. It's in your brain. Humans are pattern-seeking machines. We notice coincidences and automatically assign meaning. It's called apophenia, seeing connections where none exist. And our ancestors? This trick literally saved lives. Your phone dies right before an important email. You think, bad luck. 2 hours later, it works fine. But your brain remembers the first moment. That's pattern seeking at work. Congratulations, you just had a tiny, prehistoric panic moment in the 21st century. Coincidence versus causation. Our brains are wired to confuse correlation with causation. I wore these socks, my team won, lucky socks. I forgot to carry my lucky charm, it rained. Rationally? Probably coincidence. Psychologically? Extremely satisfying to believe otherwise. The illusion of control. Superstition often arises from wanting control in a chaotic world. Throwing salt over your shoulder, tapping wood, crossing fingers, all ways to feel like you're doing something. Even a small ritual gives your brain a sense of agency. Studies show athletes perform rituals before games, exactly the same principle as ancient hunters dancing before a hunt. Office workers do good luck routines before presentations, a modern echo of centuries-old superstition. We remember when superstitions worked and forget when they didn't. This is why lucky socks never lose their reputation. Scientists call this confirmation bias. Your brain loves evidence that confirms its beliefs, even if it's selective. Social reinforcement. Superstitions are contagious. Friends, family, culture all reinforce the behavior. Saying bless you when someone sneezes? Less about divine protection, more about social cohesion. Humans are social animals. Believing together makes us feel safer. So the science explains why we believe, but it doesn't explain how culture shapes it. Next, we'll travel the globe, from Japan to Ireland, Turkey to Africa, and see how different societies interpret luck, fate, and the supernatural. Superstitions around the world. Superstition isn't just a European thing. From Asia to Africa, the Americas to Oceania, humans everywhere have found creative ways to explain luck, misfortune, and the unseen. And while the details differ, the instinct is the same. Better safe than sorry. Japan. Number 4. Shi equals death. Hospitals skip it. Maneki Neko, the waving cat, brings luck. Don't stick chopsticks upright in rice. It resembles a funeral ritual. Cutting nails at night? Bad luck. Spirits could grab them. China. Number 8 equals very lucky. Sounds like prosperity. Number 4 equals unlucky. Hanging red decorations or using red envelopes protects against evil. Sweeping after dark wipes away good luck. Turkey. Evil eye. Everywhere. Jewelry, wall charms, amulets. Knocking on wood, tossing salt, or spitting 3 times keeps envy at bay. Medieval security systems upgraded to 21st century Turkish households. Ireland and UK. 4-leaf clovers, rabbit's feet, and horseshoes for luck. Banshees or omens of death. Walking under ladders, still considered bad luck. Africa. Hornbills or vultures as omens, good or bad. Walking backward at thresholds to confuse spirits. Protective amulets woven into clothing. India. Sneezing before leaving the house may jinx your journey. Mustard seeds, cow dung, or turmeric rituals for protection. Number 8 avoided in some regions. Number 7 sometimes lucky. South America. Small llama or guinea pig figurines in Peru for good fortune. In Brazil, stepping over someone's foot can cancel luck. Crossing paths with a black cat? Good luck in some regions. Russia and Eastern Europe. Whistling indoors equals invites misfortune. Sitting at the corner of a table before a trip equals unmarried life or bad luck. Spilling salt is also bad luck, but throwing it over the left shoulder is standard. Middle East. Breaking bread with the left hand equals disrespect. Evil eye talismans and hand gestures common for protection. Saying Masha'Allah to compliment someone avoids envy. Oceanaria, Aboriginal and Polynesian traditions. Certain animals, like owls or bats, carry omens. Rituals with shells, feathers, or stones ward off spirits. Storytelling and ritual dances teach social norms and spiritual protection. Humans everywhere invent rules to explain the unpredictable. Different animals, numbers, objects. Same instinct. The universe hasn't changed, but humans sure have gotten creative. Superstitions often relate to protection, social cohesion, or managing uncertainty. Different cultures, different rituals, similar underlying psychology. Some rituals overlap by coincidence. Some are astonishingly parallel. So humans everywhere invent ways to feel in control, stay safe, or just hope for good fortune. But what about today, in the digital, science-filled world? Next explores how ancient instincts take on new outfits, horoscopes, lucky socks, Mercury retrograde, and more. Modern superstitions, same myths, new outfits. Horoscopes, modern rituals, and daily luck objects. So, we've traveled from ancient forests to medieval villages and across the globe to see how humans invent rituals for safety, luck, and control. But what about today? In the 21st century, we still love superstition, just with a modern twist. Digital rituals. Some people can't send a message, post on social media, or make an online payment without first opening a lucky app or checking the horoscope. Gamers know the secret rules. I must wear this in-game outfit or I will lose the match. Basically, your ancestors danced before the hunt. Refresh your Spotify playlist. Horoscopes and astrology. Mercury retrograde isn't a medieval curse, but it might as well be. People blame their slow Wi-Fi, missed deadlines, or awkward encounters on the stars. Daily horoscopes. Your modern crystal ball, but on your phone screen. Some even pick outfits or colors based on zodiac advice. It's like consulting a fashion-savvy oracle. Everyday, modern talismans. Lucky coffee mug or teacup, the one you must use for meetings. Favorite pen, notebook, or even mouse. If it's not in its sacred place, your workflow is doomed. Phone background or sticker, secretly believed to protect you from bad vibes or technical glitches. If your laptop charger isn't plugged in just right, how else would the universe know you mean business? Ritualized behaviors, crossing fingers before a Zoom call, tapping the desk or mouse 3 times for good luck, saying bless you even to someone in the next Slack channel. These modern rituals are basically human brains recycling old instincts. Science hasn't changed our superstition wiring. We still want control, certainty, and meaning. Only difference? Now it's applied to Wi-Fi, spreadsheets, Instagram, and online dating. Old gods, new gadgets. Rabbit's foot, lucky laptop sticker. Maybe we don't need to eliminate superstition. Maybe we just need to embrace a little magic, even if it's digital, ritualized, or absurd. Because whether it's Mercury retrograde or a cat crossing the street, superstition is our way of dancing with uncertainty. From ancient humans dodging tigers to modern humans dodging bad Wi-Fi, the instinct is the same. Superstition isn't silly, it's human. And maybe, just maybe, we all need a little ritual, a little charm, and a little magic in our lives. Maybe we just need a little magic after all. So, what have we learned on this journey through superstition? From ancient humans fearing lightning, to medieval villagers blaming witches, to modern office workers tapping their mouse for luck. One thing is clear, we're all a little superstitious. Superstition isn't just about fear, it's about curiosity, pattern seeking, and the human desire for control. It's about trying to make sense of chaos, whether it's tigers in the forest, broken mirrors, or Wi-Fi that refuses to connect. And honestly, maybe it's a bit of fun too, a little magic in everyday life. Think about it. Ancient humans danced around a fire to catch dinner. You scroll through your lucky playlist before a meeting. Not that different, really. Both are rituals, both are superstitions, and both make you feel like you have a tiny bit of control over a chaotic world. Superstition, in its many forms, is a human story. Across cultures, centuries, and even in the modern digital age, we still create rituals, charms, and just-in-case behaviors. It's a way to cope, to hope, and sometimes just to laugh at life's unpredictability. So maybe, instead of knocking on wood, avoiding ladders, or checking your horoscope, we should celebrate our rituals. A little superstition never hurt anyone, and who knows, it might just make life a little more interesting. After all, in a world full of uncertainty, a bit of magic might be exactly what we need. From lightning strikes to Mercury retrograde, from cursed mirrors to lucky mugs, the universe may still be unpredictable. But humans, we're masters of ritual, pattern, and imagination. And that's our kind of magic.